I was once dating somebody who, he respected me and seemed to have a high regard for me, but he didn't respect anybody else. And he would constantly, compare me to other girls and say that I was way prettier than them and all that. This was a major red flag, and I overlooked it because I was vulnerable. I was going through a really tough time, and I just wanted to be with somebody who made me feel good, and I overlooked it all. But eventually it got to be too much for me, and I broke it off. I broke off the relationship because I felt that I just didn't like his constant disregard for others and all that. And there were some other things I didn't like either. So I broke off the relationship, and we never actually went official. But I would never, I don't think I would ever, if I see a red flag, I'm not going to overlook it again. I know better now. And especially since I'm not in a bad situation anymore, really. I'm not in a place where I'm really weak or vulnerable anymore. And I feel like I'm in a place now where I can make better decisions. I'm not gonna slip up like that again. I do feel for others who don't see those red flags or who also overlook them and just don't get out soon enough of those kinds of relationships, because they can turn abusive and controlling. So I guess I was lucky that even though I was going through a lot and I was really vulnerable at the time, and I was going through, I was scared and I didn't really have anybody to lean on particularly, at least not the way I wanted to. It wasn't I was desperate for a relationship because I was going through a lot, and I was going through depression and stuff, and so, and I had an eating disorder I was trying to get over. I was dealing with it, and nobody was really helping me through it. I felt like I was pretty much alone. So that's why I put up with the things I did with this guy. But I would never overlook a red flag in a date like that again. I would never do that again. Especially since I'm usually pretty good at identifying red flags. And usually if I date someone who shows red flags consistently like that, I'm aware of it. I'm perfectly aware, but I just, it's because I'm overlooking them. Usually it's because I'm going through something bigger, and I'm not in a place where I can make good decisions, but I wasn't stable mentally at the time anyway, and now that I'm stable, I think I can make better decisions and I'm more capable. And I feel good about myself that I broke off that relationship when I did, and that I cut him off when I did. I actually blocked him from everything. But again, there's some other people who aren't that lucky, and they don't get out in time, and that's something I'm concerned about, and it does turn abusive and stuff. So yeah, but I can't say I don't miss him. I mean, even though he was not a good person, I can't say I don't miss him. I do. I think some part of me may always miss him, and whatever we did together, what we, our times together, but I just, I would never, I don't think I could put myself through that again. I couldn't, it was not healthy. Okay? So we have to have awareness about that kind of stuff. And I know this is a sensitive topic. This is not something that I would normally talk about because it's not upbeat or optimistic to talk about. It's not it's not exactly fun to talk about, to speak out on, but I want to speak out on it, and I want to make sure everybody knows, if you're in a relationship like that, you need to find a way to leave. If you can, you have to find a way to leave. I know that it's hard, but there's resources and stuff, and I think that like if you have the right kind of help and stuff. And I mean, once you realize, like, I mean, for me, when I got out of that relationship, I felt a lot stronger and I felt good about myself, at least as good as I could feel at the time. And I felt that I wasn't being drained emotionally anymore, which was good. So I think you'll find that you're stronger, at least I did, when you get out of that kind of relationship, and that you're the better for it. But I don't have a lot of experience with this stuff. This was the only relationship I had where I think I wasn't the problem, but the other person was. And again, that's because of my mental health issues and stuff. And it was kind of like dating myself at the time. Like, it wasn't like I respected people, and like I had empathy, lots of empathy and stuff, and that was part of my problem. But I was very needy at the time and stuff. And that person I dated was pretty needy too, and he was also going through a lot of stuff mentally and emotionally, and I guess we were a lot alike in that regard, and yeah, it wasn't a good dynamic. So dating someone who was like that, who was sort of like me, was not, it wasn't like, but without the empathy, that wasn't, that was a bad decision on my part, and I really wish I hadn't, but since I did, I just want to caution you all that if he respects you but nobody else, or if he's comparing you to other girls, or if he's comparing you to, like, even if he's being complimentary, like, there's no way, like, for me, I couldn't have lived up to that standard all the time. Like, there's no way I could have lived up to it, like, every minute of the day, his standard of beauty. And eventually I would have probably let him down. Cause I didn't stay that skinny forever. Eventually, like, my lack of eating, like, anything at all, hardly, and my starving myself and all that, it caught up to me, and I started gaining weight, like, when I got past the whole, like, where I didn't want to eat and where I thought I was fat and stuff. I actually did gain weight, and I got bigger. So I think if I'd even gained, like, even a little bit of weight, he might have decided that it might have turned abusive, because I couldn't fit his beauty standards anymore. So that's so I would have, so inevitably it would have been disappointment for everybody. Like, nobody would have won. There was no winning for me. It was not a good situation. And my nose is running a lot. I'm sick, so yeah, I probably shouldn't even be filming this right now, but I felt it was important. Bye bye.